we're going to be talking about the area of polygons. Okay, so these are all things we've seen before. So don't stress too much. I'm going to give everybody a couple of seconds to take a screenshot of all these formulae that we're seeing on the screen at the moment, because we are actually going to be incorporating them into today's lesson. But because all of what we're doing right now is grade 8 and grade 9 work, I'm going to assume that we're all going to be pretty comfortable with today's lesson. All right. Now, before we get started, give me a thumbs up if you guys have already done measurement at school. Give me a thumbs down if you have not. Okay. Okay, Kaganipo says yes, they have. Excellent. Okay, so not that many of you, but it's perfectly fine. Because like I said, this is grade 8 and 9 work, so we should be able to do it quite easily. So let's get started on our first activity for the day. You guys are going to be calculating the area of these shapes over here. So remember, we've just given you the formula up there. Okay, again, I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds. Take a screenshot. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. This should actually be an ellipse and not an eclipse. An eclipse is something that happens when the moon sits over the sun. It's not the same thing. Okay, it's an ellipse. All right, let's get started on these first four questions over here. We are looking for the area of each of these triangles. Yes, Liche, it is important. And if you think it's not, I will show you an example of a matric maths paper that involves measurement. Okay, it's just that in matric, we put measurement together with something called calculus, and you have to use it to do mathematical modeling. So it's something very important. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to do these 4 questions. When you're done, pop your favorite emoji in the chat. Hello, Isaiah. I see Isaiah's, I feel like Isaiah's joining us for the first time, unless I missed you. Not 100% sure. But hi, Isaiah. Welcome to Watobe. It's quite awesome to have you with us this. Hi, Enke. I already said I gave you enough time. How, Enke? People are busy here doing their work. When you're busy, ma'am, scroll up one more time. No, no more scrolling. No more scrolling. Hi, Suga. You've got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, there we go. Ma'am, is the answer in square or cubed? Well, we are calculating for the area, right? So the area always comes in cubed, and the perimeter only comes in the unit of measurement. Whatever unit of measurement we've been given, that's the unit it comes in. Okay. No worries, Molly. Welcome. 2 more minutes, peeps. Entle and Entle. Hello, DeAndre. All right, peeps, that's time. Hi, Ramufilwe. No worries. Awesome to have you join us today. Welcome. All right, let's start with this first one over here. All right, so we know that we're calculating for the area of a triangle. We know that the area of a triangle is half the base, half base times height. Remember, that is the perpendicular height, and that's exactly what we have here. So we're going to take half of 12 multiplied by 6, and that should give us 30 centimeters squared. Oh, why am I lying to people? 36 centimeters squared. No, I am correct. It's 30 because the height is 5 and not 6. Okay, so half of 12 is 6 times 5 is 30 centimeters squared. We need to add the squared in there. All right. For the second one, we know this is a rectangle. If we're calculating for the area of our rectangle, we'll take length times breadth, which is going to be 15 times 5, which is equal to 75 centimeters squared. Right. Now, this next one is going to give us a decimal, okay, because we are looking for the area of a circle, and we know that the area of a circle is equal to pi times the radius squared, okay, which is equal to, see, and this is 28,27 squared, but I feel like you've missed the most important part there. Okay, you've missed the unit. All right, so the answer you should get is 9 pi, and the older you get in the grades, correct, they will allow you to leave this as 9 pi, but for now we're going to round it off normally to 2 decimal places, so we're going to say 28,27 millimeters squared. Correct. For no unit of measurement, no tick. Correct. All right, then we're going to look at, excuse me, just one second. Sorry. Yes, Oratile.
Hi, ma'am.
Hi, Masvidi, what's up?
Ma'am, with number C, how did you get 9 pi? I just don't understand the whole concept.
Okay, so what we would have over here is pi times 3 squared, right? Because my radius is 3, right? And 3 squared is just going to be 9. So that's, when I write 9 pi, it's the same as writing 9 times pi.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. All right, so I've just skipped a step, and maybe I shouldn't have skipped a step. Pi times 3 squared will give us 9 pi. All right, Then for the next one, we are calculating for the area of a kite. So we're going to, the area of a kite is equal to P times Q over 2. Right? The area of a kite is equal to P times Q over 2. This P and Q stands for our diagonals. Okay, diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. And they give us the dimensions of our diagonal. There's one, there's the other. So the area is going to equal to 34 times 12 divided by 2. Okay, anybody got an answer there for me? (204 millimeters squared). No worries, Princess, welcome. Correct, that's it. All right. We're going to give yourself a mark out of 4. Tell me how much you got out of 4 for this particular exercise on area, because we're going to move to perimeter in just a little bit. Okay, good. I'm seeing a lot of 4s. And Fundo, you're saying 3. Do we know where we went wrong? I think it might have been the area of a kite. Yeah, the area of a kite does get quite tricky, and it's not actually in that write-up that I had for you guys. Okay. All right. No issues, guys. No worries. Okay, let's talk about the perimeter for a second. Right. When we want to calculate, the units on the radius. Okay, Sienna, no worries. Okay, let's talk about the perimeter. Who can tell us what is it? What is the perimeter of any shape? How do we calculate for the perimeter of any shape? What are we actually doing? Okay, correct. We could say the outside, but a bit more specific, Kumfundo. Not quite the, no worries. Okay, good. The total distance around the shape, the outside length, yes. All right, we'll take outside length. But basically what we're doing is we're calculating for the outer dimensions of the shape. Okay, all the sides put together. Good. All right, so if we look at this first example over here, we're definitely missing a side. In order for us to calculate it for the perimeter, we're going to have to find one of these sides that are missing. This side is missing. Anybody got any idea how we're possibly going to calculate for this side? Correct, Rulani, beautiful, good. We're going to use Pythag. Excellent. Right, so we're going to say 5 squared plus 12 squared is equal to our hypotenuse squared. Remember to open brackets and write Pythag in there, because you need to state which theorem you've used. 5 squared plus 12 squared will give us 169 is equal to h squared. We'll take the square root of both sides. So our hypotenuse is equal to 13 centimeters. This is one of the Pythagoras triples that we can work out. All right, so the perimeter is going to equal to 13 plus 12 plus 5, which should also coincidentally equal 30 centimeters. But in this case, because it's the perimeter, we're not going to square it. You don't need to write the answer squared. We're just going to write 30 centimeters. All right, Mfundo, do not forget your units of measurement. Okay, 30 centimeters. I saw somebody just had their hand up. Okay. Can't remember who that was. If you want to put your hand back.
Yes,
Patience. If you have a question, please do put your hand back up. I'm happy to answer it. All right, let's calculate the perimeter of this shape over here. We know that for our rectangle, we're just going to go around the shape and calculate. But what we do know is that if this side is 15 centimeters, the side is also 15 centimeters. And if this side is 5 centimeters, the side is also 5 centimeters, right? So we're calculating for the same thing twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go length plus breadth times 2. So I'm just going to say the perimeter is 2 times the length plus the breadth. Okay, so that's going to give me 2 times 15 plus 5, which is equal to 40 centimeters. All right. Excellent stuff, guys. All right. Let's talk about the perimeter of a circle. What do we call the perimeter of a circle, by the way? Who remembers? What is the perimeter around a circle actually called? Ooh, not the diameter, Jordan. It's not the diameter, guys. Correct. Yes, Nicole. Beautiful. That's it. It's called the circumference. Correct. It's called the circumference. Correct. It's the circumference. Now, when we calculate for the circumference, you can either calculate by taking pi and multiplying it with the diameter, but we also know that the diameter is the same thing as 2 times the radius. So if you want to calculate for the circumference, you can just take 2 pi of the radius, 2 times the radius times pi. Okay, so I would like you guys to give me an answer there. All right, it should give us 6 pi, but I want it correct to 2 decimal places. Remember that our radius is equal to 3. So 2 times pi times 3 would give us 6 pi, but what would it be to 2 decimal places? Let's say Peter, round off properly. Thank you, Nkanganipo. It will be 18,85, not centimeters, millimeters. Remember, guys, don't forget your unit of measurement. Okay, Mawande, I'm talking to you there. Don't forget your unit of measurement. All right, okay. And then they give, in this particular question over here, they give us all the dimensions we actually need. Hi, Amogelang, what's up, my sweetie? If this side is 19, it's also 19. What's up, my sweetie?
Kandi, where does the 2 come from?
Okay, so if I asked you, if the radius of the circle from here to there is 3 millimeters, what is the diameter? What's the distance from here all the way to the other side? What's the distance? If the radius from the center to the circumference, if my radius is 3 millimeters, what is the distance from one side to the other side of my circle going to be? Amkhalang, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
Are we a little confused?
Yes, I am confused.
Okay, all right, my sweetie, let's think about this. You agree with me that the distance for the radius is 3 millimeters, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so what is the distance from here to there? If the line is coming from the center of my circle to the end of my circle, if the distance from here to here is 3 millimeters, what's the distance from here to here going to be? Check in the chat if you're lost.
3 millimeters.
Correct, it's 3 millimeters everywhere. It's almost like if I put a pin here in the middle and I use the pin as my center and I drew a circle, right? Do you agree that all my distances, all of the distance from here to there, what's that distance going to be?
3 millimeters.
Correct, that's going to be 3 millimeters. And from here to here, 3 millimeters. It's going to be 3 millimeters everywhere. Agreed?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Now, let's say I now want to take a walk from this part over here of my, let me use a different color. Maybe we can't see it. If I want to take a walk from this part of my circle through the middle, from the middle through to the other side, how long is this distance going to be?
6 millimeters.
Yes, correct, 6. Right, because from here to here is 3, and we know that from here up until there is also 3, right? So it's going to be 6 millimeters, right? What do we call this distance? If from the middle to the circumference, this is called the radius, What do we call the distance from one side of my circle through the origin to the other side of my circle? What do we call that distance?
I beg your pardon, ma'am.
What do we call this line? The line from one side of my circle to the other side of my circle. What do we call it?
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
Check in the chat. Check in the chat.
Oh, it's a diameter.
Correct. It's the diameter. Right.
Oh.
The diameter. Now, do you agree with me, Amogelang? The diameter is 2 times the size of my radius.
Yes, I agree with you.
Right, because if my radius is 3 millimeters, from there all the way to the other side, my diameter is 2 times the radius. Right, so what I've done, Amogelang, is I've taken my diameter and I've just replaced it with 2 times the radius.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Okay, so that's where the 2 comes from. That's why my radius, we know that my radius is 3. Do you see how ma'am's only written 3 here?
Yes.
Correct. So my diameter is actually 2 times the radius of 3. That's where it comes from.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome, my sweetie. Excellent. If you guys are confused, go ahead and put your hand up. Okay. True, Sianda. True. All right. This is paper 2, Keegan. It's measurement, so paper 2. All right. Has anybody calculated the perimeter of our kite just yet? The perimeter of my kite is going to be the same. We're going to say 2 times length 1 plus length 2, right? So we're just going to have 2 times 19 plus 21, which is going to equal to 80 millimeters, correct? Okay, 80 millimeters. Well done, peeps. All right, give yourself a mark out of 4 again. Okay, tell me how much we got out of 4 for perimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Jordan, you don't look very sure. There's like there's an exclamation. Oh, it was supposed to be the 4 out of 4. Okay, I see it. All right. Exceptional. I like that word. What a good word. I like that word, NK. Exceptional. Excellent. All right. Let's get into some heavier stuff. All right. Let's start by calculating the area of some composite shapes. All right. So these are mainly circles. We're going to start with circles because that's the one thing that is like big especially in Keegan, I'm sorry. It's especially big when it comes to measurement. Keegan's like, go back, we don't want this, it's fine. All right, so we know that the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. But I will, in just a little bit, Oratile, you're gonna have to give me some time. All right, I will go back as soon as I can. Now, do I have a full circle, yes or no? Look at question A, guys. Do I have a full circle, yes or no? No, I don't. What do I have? What portion of a circle? Someone bit it. Yes, correct. I have a semicircle or half of a circle. So are we all in agreement that if I have to calculate for the area of the circle, I'm just going to calculate for the normal area that I would, and I would just take the area that I have and half it, correct? Right, so I'm going to calculate for the area and just multiply whatever answer I get by a half. I need everyone to give me a thumbs up if what I'm saying makes sense. Excellent, good, right. But here's another thing. In order to calculate for my area, what do I need? What do I need? No, Anotita, not in this case. Correct, Rulani. I need the radius. But I don't have the radius. I don't have the radius. I have the diameter. Okay, or Anotita, what you were calculating for there is the circumference, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking specifically for the area. Okay. Correct, Mawande. Good. So if they've only given us the diameter, how do we find the radius from the diameter? Anotita, that is the formula for the circumference and not for the area. Okay. Kyle, please let me know, where have I lost you? Tamsin, you too. I don't want to leave you guys behind. Correct, Siam Tanda. We're going to take half of the diameter because we know that the diameter is the same as the radius 2 times. So what is my radius going to be here? Correct, 21 meters. Excellent. All right, so I want you guys to take this formula that I've written over here and the radius I've given to you and find me an answer for the area. Patience, I need you to put your hand up for me, please, my sweetie. Tell me where I've lost you. Hi, Patience.
Hi, ma'am. I'm lost. How do you
Where
get
did I lose you, my sweetie?
How did you
How
get
did you
to
get?
earthquake? How did you get to earthquake?
That is the formula. So the formula, remember when we talked at the very beginning, Precious, we said that the formula for the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. That's the formula for the area of a circle. Okay. Are you with me there?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So do you agree with me, Patience? This is half a circle.
Yes.
Okay, so once I'm done calculating for the for the area, I'm going to take whatever answer I get and I'm going to multiply it by a half.
Okay.
Am I making sense?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good stuff. Siam Tanda, what's going on?
Ma'am, I just have a quick question about the formula.
Yes.
So if we instead say divide by 2, or can we just take
That's
like
fine.
this and say multiply by 1/2? It's
You
fine.
can you can say multiplied by a half or divide
Uh-huh.
by 2. Correct.
Oh, okay.
You can do either of those things because dividing by 2 is the same as half of.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
You're very welcome. Good question. All right. I'm just reminding the rest of you guys that the question does say, or the instruction says, that you need to calculate your answer correct to 1 decimal place. So make sure that we're doing that correctly. Okay. So the area is going to be pi 21 squared times a half, or like Siam Tanda says, you can multiply, or you can divide by 2, right? So we're going to take pi times 21 squared times a half is equal to, the answer that I get is 692.7, just 7 meters squared. Remember, it is an area, guys. Yes, correct, Kaganipo. If they don't give you an instruction, you always leave it with 2 decimal places. Okay, but normally they'll give the instruction at the beginning of the paper for you to leave it like that. All right. Okay, I just want to see, give me a thumbs up, guys, if you're understanding how to do this question. Give me a thumbs down if you're still stuck, because I want to see how much help I need to give you guys on the next question. All right, excellent. Okay, just so we can help those who are still a little bit confused, what do we notice about B? If we have to calculate for the area of B, what are we actually calculating for? Correct, Mawande. Patience, what am I explaining again? What am I explaining again? Correct. Stephen, you're 100% correct. It is a quarter of a circle. Now, we're just going to use the normal formula for the area of a circle, and we're just going to take the answer that we have and multiply it by a quarter, because it's 1/4 of a circle. Okay, again, the area of a circle, here's the formula for the area of a circle. Pi times the radius squared. Okay. Give me your favorite emoji in the chat once you've answered this question and C. We're going to do B and C. Do both of them and pop your not your answer, your favorite emoji in the chat when you're ready. Okay. It shouldn't be a small number, it should be a big number. Yeah, that's very possible, especially with a number like 75. Yes, it should be a big number. Okay, I'm going to give everybody else just 1 more minute and then we're going to get started. How do you do the accuracy? I'm not sure what you mean by the accuracy, Sianda. Please explain a little bit more to me. What do we mean by accuracy? All right, that's time. Let's have a look at our question or our answer. So we're going to have A is equal to pi times 75 all squared times a quarter. Do not forget to multiply by a quarter or to divide by 4. All right, and the answer you should get here is 4,417,9 centimeters squared. Do not forget the squared. All right. Now, if we look at question C, how much of a circle do we have? How much of a circle do we have, guys? Correct, Lulu. That is in fact correct. We've got 3/4. So we know that we're just going to take the area of our circle and we're just going to multiply it by 3/4, right? And Siam Tanda was asking me if we can do things like divide by 2 and divide by 4. Yes, you absolutely can. But it's going to get a lot trickier when we have 3/4 of a circle, because you're first going to have to multiply by 3 and then divide by 4. So instead of doing that, I think it would be best for you to just get used to the idea of multiplying by the whole fraction. Okay, because it's calculator work. It's not like you have to do it in your head. It's perfectly fine. All right. Okay, so if we calculate for this over here, they're nice enough to give us the radius. We're going to go area is equal to pi times 36 squared times 3 over 4. And the answer you should get here is 3,053,6 millimeters squared. Give me a thumbs up if you managed to get both of these questions correct. Okay. Okay. Mawande with 2 hands. I love it. Excellent. Farin, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Is it Farin? I think you're struggling to maybe find the chat or the reactions. Okay, if you're on a phone, my sweetie, I need you to swipe either left or right, and you'll be able to find either the chat or the reactions. Okay, they're normally at the bottom of your phone screen. Okay, but swipe left or swipe right, and you'll be able to see it. Okay. Yes, that's what I meant. Nice and kind enough to give us the radius. Okay. All right, peeps. Okay, let's talk about this next one, because this next one is a little, it's a bit iffy, right? Sometimes they do, yes, Mawande. Sometimes they give you all your answers in meters, and they ask you that they want the answer in centimeters instead. So you just have to take everything and convert it before you do the calculation. Yes, Shifaro, normally they'll always give you enough information to answer the question. Okay, so let's think about this. They've given us a piece of a circle. They haven't given us the whole circle. They've given us a piece of a circle. Now we need to figure out what fraction of a circle this actually is, right? How are we going to figure that out? Who has an idea for us? What are we going to do here in order to figure out the answer? Who has an idea? I want you guys to note that they've also given us the degrees down here. Correct. Mawande, you are on fire today. Correct. If we think about it, what is the full, you know what, Kanya, I didn't even get to finish my sentence. What are the full degrees of a circle? Okay, Kanya's already blown the cover correct. A full circle would be 360 degrees, right? But I only have 330 degrees. So in order for me to figure out what the answer here is, I have to go and find what fraction 330 is, or degrees is, of 360. So instead of minusing, we're not going to minus, we're going to divide. We're going to go, what is 330 degrees of 360? If you punch that into a calculator, what are you going to get? Give me the simplified fraction, guys. Correct, Retepile. We're looking for the simplified fraction. So that's 11/12. Okay. Okay, correct. It's 11/12. So we're going to go ahead and calculate for the area, but this time we're going to take the area and we're going to multiply it by 11/12. Okay, before you guys find me an answer for that one, can you guys find what fraction of our circle this 240 degrees is? I want you guys to do that on your calculator and give me an answer. Remember, 240 degrees of 360 is going to give us how much? Correct, Stephen. Good. That's it. Well done, guys. It's 2/3. So we're going to calculate the area. The normal way we would, area is equal to pi times radius squared times 2/3. All right. I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. Answer question D and E. Pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're over it. Sorry, not when you're over it, when you're done. When you are done. All right. And I did see Slay Queen come in like super late to class today, but hello, Slay Queen. It's great to have you with us as always. Hello, Farin. Oh, she found the reactions. Hello, my sweetie. How are you? Do you know how to unmute? Again, you're going to have to swipe left or right. There we go. Hello. Farine, you're unmuted. Are you going to say hello?
Hi,
Hello, my sweetie. How are you?
good and you?
I'm good, thank you. Do you have a question? Are you okay with how to do these questions?
Wait, I can't see the screen. No. Oh boy, where did it go?
Normally, it's either gone left or right. So you just need to swipe your screen one way or the other, and you should be able to find it. Are you on a phone? Are you using a phone?
Yes, ma'am, I'm using a phone.
Okay. Okay. See, the thing is,
Yeah.
I've never been on a phone, so I'm not
I swapped
100% sure.
to the because when she had to speak, she swapped to the left. I think swap back to the right. Do you see
Is it
anything?
helping, or are we just swiping our screen with nothing happening?
There's nothing happening.
Oh no. Okay.
Can you?
All right, my sweetie, I'm going to ask you to mute quickly for me. Do you know how to mute? Are you okay with muting? There we go. All right. Okay. I want you to keep trying to swipe or maybe zoom in and out. And once it's actually given you what you want, look for the chat and also just put in the chat that I'm sorted. Okay. I just want to make sure that all your functions are working 100%. Okay. All right, peeps. All right, let's look at question D. All right. Right, so we're going to take the area, which is going to be pi times 12 all squared times 11 over 12. And the answer I should get here is 414.7 meters squared, right? And for the next question, for question E, I should have pi times 44 squared times 2/3. Oh, excellent. Did you figure it out, Farine? Just give me a yes, ma'am, if you can see the screen in the chat. Okay. Okay. And for this question over here, we should get 4,054. 4,054, comma 8, actually, comma 8 centimeters squared. All right. Okay. A mark out of 2, guys. Let me know how much you got out of 2. Okay. Shame. Okay, teacher Nels, do you mind just maybe DMing Farine and see if you can help her out? I think
Yeah.
she's still having a few problems. Thank you very much, teacher Nels, always. Mawandika forgot to square the radius. Oh no. Okay, guys, do not forget to square the radius. All right, and also do not forget your units. Kanya, I love it. I love it. All right, here's our last challenge for the day, for this evening. We're going to be doing F. All right, now we're going to have to figure out exactly what it is they've given us here. And I can already tell that DeAndre has the answer. Okay, but it's not as deep as we are thinking. This that we're looking at over here is called a composite figure. Okay, it's called a composite figure. Now, composite figures are always made up of 2 or more shapes, right? What are the two shapes that make up this composite figure that we have here, guys? Tell me. Correct. Correct. Mawanda, you're correct, but I think Lulu is a little bit more specific, 100% specific. Correct. It's a rectangle and a half circle, right? Now, the next thing we need to ask ourselves over here is, have they added a half circle or have they taken away a half circle? Have they added or subtracted? Correct, Anotida, that is correct. They have subtracted, they've taken it away. So when we calculate for composite figures, right, depending on whether they've added or subtracted, we're always going to take big shape, the big shape, minus the small shape. Okay, if they have subtracted. If they have added, we will take the big shape plus the small shape or the smaller shapes. Right, now let's think about the dimensions that they've given us over here. They have told us that the distance from here to here is 36 centimeters, right? And then they've told us that we've got 12 centimeters from here to here. Now, what is the distance from here to there? What's the distance there? Correct, it's also 12. We are told by these two lines, right? So that tells us something. If this side is also 12 centimeters, right? What does that tell us about our circle? Who knows? What does that actually tell us about our circle? And I want you to be specific. Don't just say correct. One day, I just, on point, 100%. It tells us that the diameter of our semicircle, is 12 centimeters, right? What does the diameter being 12 centimeters then tell us? What do we take from that? Ooh, Rulani, you gorgeous human being, you. Correct. That means that the radius is equal to 6. I'm so impressed, teacher Nels. I mean. All right, good. So we're going to put all of this together, right? We're looking for the area of the big shape minus the area of the small shape. The area of big minus the area of the small shape, right? So we know that the area of a rectangle, area of a rectangle is going to be length times breadth, which is easy enough. We can do that, right? And from that, we're going to take the area of our half circle or semicircle, which is going to be pi times radius squared. But because it's a half circle, we're going to multiply that by a half. All right, we have everything that we need, peeps. We've got the length of the rectangle, we've got the breadth of the rectangle, and we've got the radius of our half circle. So go ahead and calculate for me, guys, and tell me what answer you get. Pop your favorite emoji in the chat when you're done. It shouldn't take you more than 1 minute because we're literally just putting in values on our calculator. Kamogelo, no, your answer is correct. Okay, I was just being very OCD about the decimal places, but your answer is correct, Kamogelo, don't stress. Okay, excellent. All right, so when we put this together, right, when we put the answer together over here, I'm just gonna make some space, right, we're going to get the area, right, of the full shape is going to be 36 times 16 minus, and then I'm going to have pi times 6 all squared times a half, right? And the answer we should all get, correct to one decimal place, is 519,5 centimeters squared. Give me a thumbs up if you got the correct answer. Give me a thumbs up. Excelente. All right. Okay, that's where we're going to stop for today's lesson. Teacher Nels, I'm going to ask you to run the pace poll. And while we do that, I'm going to go back to the beginning. Somebody, Oratilo, I think it was you who wanted to take a screenshot of this first part. Here is your chance to do so. You've got 5 seconds. And then I'm going to move over to everything at the bottom. Thank you, Mawande. We'll take 2 thumbs up. I'm sorry, Alexander. I kind of feel your pain, but Mfundo quiz results are on Wednesdays. Okay, we do quiz results on Wednesdays. All right, and then there is the last part that you can screenshot. If you would like to go try questions G, H, and I, you are more than welcome to, because on Wednesday's lesson, we're going to be continuing with something different.